Hello, welcome to day 24. It is Christmas Eve, finally. I say finally, but December's gone really quickly. I don't know quite how it's gone so fast. I have got wet hair again today, but I've dried my fringe. My fringe and I are beginning to come to an understanding. So I dried it. It seems to help. It's not helping this bit though. We won't worry about that. New glasses. What do you think? They've adjusted what they call the corridor, so I can kind of see the camera now. Well enough to know that I'm actually in frame anyway. The only problem with them is that when I take them off, I can't find them. Now, ordinarily, that's not an issue because I take them off and I put them on the cabinet in the bathroom. I take my makeup off, I wash my face, I clean my teeth, I get into bed. But I messed that up this morning because I wear them into the shower and then I wash them in the shower and then I get out and I put them on the bed and then I couldn't see them. They go into stealth mode when they're not on my face. But I'll get used to it. I'll just learn not to put them in places where I can't see them. Anyway, I know some of you were looking forward to seeing the new glasses, so here they are. They are very different, but I like them. Yesterday, I did some knitting on my Calm and Joy shawl. Let me just wrestle it out the bag. There we go. Sorry, I was just checking because the timer thing's come up again. I've forgotten to empty my recycling bin. So I only got that much done, but I have now got 500 stitches on the needle. So each row, especially as it's lace, is taking me a little while. But I'm loving the colours, the colour progression. And I'm knitting this with my Ducky Darlings Advent, which is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory inspired. And I've literally just been knitting them in the order that they come. And that's where we are. Shall we have a look at today's? Day 24. And this is, I think, the last one for this Advent. It is the last one. So this is going to be the only main character that we've not looked at already. I was talking and rustling at the same time again, wasn't I? I am sorry. Oh, there's something else in here. Oh, it's a Ducky Darlings pin. I haven't got one of those. Well, I have got one of those, clearly, because it's in my hand. But I didn't previously have one of these. That'll go on my pin board. Okay. Charlie Bucket, are you ready? So I think, I was saying yesterday that I'm gonna rustle now, hang on. So this was yesterday's, which is Jelly Bean Roulette. And I was saying that I didn't know that I wanted to put that into this shawl because we're at the point where we're just doing really 2 or 3 rows with each colour. And for one of those rows, it's blended with the colour before. And I was afraid it would get lost. I want to save it for my blanket that I'm planning. So I thought I might, that's not the one. Where's the one? Here it is. I thought I might substitute this one, which was my Moonlight Fibre from yesterday. And I think that will actually work much better. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll put those both in that bag and then I'll remember to divide them both in half. Okay, plan sorted. What should we look at next? Let's look at my Yarny Corner. I've got a main skein to go tomorrow with this. Yesterday's, let me show you yesterday's because I haven't wound it yet. That was yesterday's and it was frog. I've kind of spoiled the surprise today because I've seen the reveal picture already. So I can tell you with confidence, I keep talking and rustling. I am so sorry. I will fire myself and get someone who knows how to do this properly. Today we have another refresher sweet and chameleon. Finally, after 23 days we have reached chameleon, which I could have guessed for every day, but I was quite happy with goose and jellyfish, so chameleon it is today. That will be going into my Quadrophenia blanket by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. Right. Moonlight Fibre. Got it right again today. This I have been making the Morrison scarf with, but I think I've got enough colours now. So some of these will be going into the blanket. Oh, this is so pretty, but again, not part of the palette that I've chosen for the scarf. That's today. Definitely going into the blanket. There is another one of these tomorrow as well. Then I'm also making a cowl where I've adapted the Morrison scarf pattern, and I've done that really just by knitting it in DK, not knitting the cuffs, just casting on the number of stitches that you increase to make the main body of the scarf, and then going straight into the pattern. I've even used the same needle size, which is 3.75, so I'm doing quite all right with that for a DK, as well as for the fingering, although I think I may have gone down to a 3.5 for the fingering. Yes, I did. I went down to a 3.5 because the lady, the designer, whose name has escaped me, I'm so sorry, said she's quite a tight knitter, and I'm not, so I went down to a 3.75. Right, so this is jabbered all through it. This is the Discreet Unicorn. There is another one of these tomorrow. And this is very, very pretty. Purple and blue. And still sparkly. I think that's Dave going upstairs to look for me. He might just be going upstairs. He did do Christmas food shopping last night, but he's just been out to get the few bits and pieces that he couldn't get last night. So we should be all set. No one should need to leave the house apart from to go to church now until Wednesday. Okay. Mouse Switch Yarns. My first advent. And this is the last day of it. This is day 24 and it follows on quite tightly from day 23. Day 23 had more of the corals and dusky pinks, we decided last night. This one has less dusky pink, more of the sort of cinnamon colour and a bit more of the red to make it Christmassy. Let me see if I can catch him on his way past. Hello?
Hello. Are you still recording?
I am, but it's okay. How'd you get on?
All right.
Okay.
I got everything.
I'll be down for a coffee in a minute.
Yeah, sizzler for lunch.
Okay.
It's quick. We've got one. And I fancy one.
Okay.
Is that all right?
We're having sizzlers for lunch, everybody.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Good.
If you're wondering what a sizzler is, it's a bit like
KFC.
KFC. That's what I was thinking of. A spicy KFC. What's the KFC thing called? Is it called? It's not called a sizzler.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
There you go. And I feel like the camera's adjusted everything far too bright now. Never mind. Right, there is one more yarn to show you before I talk about today's plans, which involve having a cup of coffee in a minute and a sizzle for my lunch. Today is Sunday. It is the last day of Advent. No, the last Sunday of Advent, as well as being Christmas Eve. And so today, if you ordered the sock set, the Advent sock sets, you will be opening the last one. Now, I've been quite anxious about this because I did a thing and then I thought, I'm not sure everybody will get it. So let me explain. The Advent sock set was based on candles. So with this one, I went quite literal. You have a skein with gold stellina, which probably is not showing up at all. And your mini is the candle flame. But also, I chose to use one with gold stellina because it's sparkly. It's sparkly for Christmas and also because it catches the light. And I left it undyed because Christmas is about, really, celebrating the birth of a baby. And a baby, any baby, is a pure new thing with the potential to be anything. And so I very arty-fartily left this skein undyed because then it has the potential to be anything. I was going to make a pair of quite heavily cabled socks that looked like a candle with the wax dripping down, with this for the cuff, like the flame on the top of the sock. But I've actually decided I'm going to save this to put into my Christmas shawl for next year. So come the 1st of November, when I cast on what is going to be my new tradition of a shawl for Christmas, I'm going to use this as one of the yarns. And this will probably go into my blanket. So, that said, I hope you get the inspiration and you're not disappointed that it's not quite as flamboyant as the rest of the sock sets, and in fact the rest of the Advent has been. It's symbolic. So, I noticed today that a favourite sock designer of mine, Dana Ray Makes, was having a sale for Christmas Eve cast-ons. And I hadn't been planning to cast on Christmas Eve socks, but now I am, because I bought some patterns. And I've decided I was going to cast on a Christmassy pair, and then I thought, no, that's silly, because you won't be able to wear them till next Christmas. I can only wear my Christmas socks in the week up to Christmas and the week between Christmas and New Year, because I'm peculiar. I'm not making any great revelation here, you all know that. So I thought what I would do is fish out some yarn and knit Dave some new socks. Dave's birthday is the end of February, and he has taken to wearing his hand knit socks for work because they're warmer. Let me explain. He has been wearing trainer socks because his leg has been swelling a little and he's been feeling that his ordinary socks were digging in. But trainer socks are a bit cold around the ankles. So he's been wearing his hand knit socks and they don't dig in. So I was going to knit him some for his birthday at the end of February. So I thought I'll cast these on today. This one is King Cole Zigzag, you can quite clearly see. And the colourway is, I saw it just now, Cocoa. So it's browns and greens with a little bit of blue. I thought I had some brown contrast yarn. Do you think I can find it? No. So we're going with this. I will probably just do the heel in this. Maybe the toe. And this is Patterns Diploma Gold 4-ply, which is, where are we? I'm sure it's got where's the thing? Yeah. 55% wool, 25% acrylic, 20% nylon. So I'll use that. It'll be nice and strong for toes and heels, but I won't put it in the cuff. I'll do the cuff with this. Haven't decided which of the patterns I bought today. Yes, there was more than one. They were half price. And I can't claim not to have many sock patterns at all, because I had to very carefully choose which ones I bought, because I have got most of them already. It was very similar. I won, Will and Wishes had a, oh, it was the Hands and Feet smell. Hands and Feet? You know what I'm trying to say. Earlier in the year, and I won a sock pattern from Nancy Wheeler, who is another of my favourite sock pattern designers. And again, I struggled to find one that I hadn't already got. So, going to cast those on this afternoon. Probably do a bit of knitting on one of my Advent projects. I think it might be the blanket today. I've given up the rota. It's Christmas Eve. It doesn't matter anymore. In a week's time, they'll all be just going into my finish things off, make along, that, call it by the proper name, Mandy, topping off Mal, that I'm running with, well, really, Belinda from Belinda's Baubles is running it with me. I'm just there to kind of hold her hand and help with the Ravelry bits. That reminds me, the Ravelry chatter thread will be open Boxing Day, but the finished objects thread will open on the 1st of January, which is the official start. But I haven't discussed this with Belinda, but I think she'd be okay with it. I thought I'd open the chatter thread so that people can start talking about what they're hoping to finish before the 31st of March, which is when it ends. Okay. Completely throwing myself off track now. Yes, I'm going to knit the Quadrophenia blanket today, I think, and these socks, and that will keep me going. I thought, as today's a bit longer anyway, I thought I would show you the yarns that I've collected together for the Hyber Knit Along. Let me see if I can get it without knocking everything down. I didn't wind my minis again yesterday. So they're all balanced on my desk in slippery paper bags. Oh, cushions fallen down. Right. In here. Dave has missed seeing me cart this round the house. He said the other day he came in and he saw it and he said, "Oh, I've really missed your skull basket," because it hasn't been out for the whole of December. So, Boxing Day, day after tomorrow, I'm joining in with the Hyber Knit Along. I've been very good and not cast it on yet. It's Glittering Snowscapes by Stephen West. And I've not gone with a snowy theme. I've kind of gone completely in the opposite direction. So, this is my first colour. This is one of my own yarns, and this was August from the Year of Yarn. The next colour will be this one. This is from Little Mouse House, who's another of my favourite dyers. And I bought a set of 3 from her. Collectively, they're called Blood Debt, which again, isn't particularly Christmassy, but never mind. So, after that one will be this one, which is again one of my own. This was November's Year of Yarn colourway. Then this one from the set. My hand is not big enough. I'm going to have to employ my chest as a balancing thing. And then finally, again from the set of 3, this one. So collectively, these 3 were called Blood Debt. And they were in a sale, and they were very pretty. And I'd already been looking at these 2 and at other colours that I've got and thinking, And I had originally thought I'll use my alternative colours from the MCal, which again are very orangey and yellow. That seems to be where I am at the moment, with the oranges and the yellows. And I think the reason for that is I have suffered from, or we think I suffer from, seasonal affective disorder for many years. And I've realised in the last few years, 2 or 3 years, it's not that the days aren't light, it's the lack of colour. So I'm filling my life with colour. You might have noticed that. And it seems to be working. So yes, so this will be, I've got to wind them all. I don't know if I'll do that today or tomorrow. Depends what everybody's got planned. And really, I suppose I only need to wind the first one. I might do that today. Won't take very long. Yeah, this is my Hyber Knit Along palette for Boxing Day. I'm looking forward to getting that cast on very much. I am very, very happy with the colours that I've chosen, and you know it takes me a long time to make my mind up about colours, but yeah, I'm happy about those, and I can see that they're colours that because it's quite a lacy shawl, so I can see that they are colours that I will wear throughout the year. They're not wintry. And I think that's everything for today. So it is a bit longer today, but pardon me, I will be back tomorrow. I've got 3 little skeins to open tomorrow, and I'll show you any sock progress that I have. I've lost my sock book. I've got a little notebook that I keep my sock recipes for everybody in. And you know, I had a big sort out of my room a little while ago. I don't know what I've done with it. I've looked in the obvious place. I've looked in the drawer where I keep my needles. I think I know where it is. I think it might be in the sock where I keep my drawer wool. Might even be in the drawer where I keep my sock wool. I'll have a look in there in a minute. I know I do 64 stitches for Dave, and I know I do them on a 2.25 needle, but I can't remember what lengths I did, because he's kind of an in-between size, and his socks do fit in perfectly, and I know that he prefers an afterthought heel. I bet I've put it in my sock wool drawer. That would make sense, wouldn't it? I've looked everywhere else. I looked, because I've got a little caddy that I keep all my sock needles in. I looked in there. That would have been another sensible place to put it. It's not in there. That's the only place I haven't looked. I'll look there in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go now. In case I don't see you tomorrow, or in case you don't see me tomorrow, have a very Merry Christmas. I hope you have the Christmas that you want. Not all of us want to be surrounded by dozens of friends and relatives. Some of us just want a bit of peace and quiet, and to have the lunch that we want. Not everybody likes turkey. Personally, it's my favourite. Not everybody likes Brussels sprouts. I never used to. If you've been here a long time, you may remember the story of what I did with my Brussels sprouts and how it was discovered on the day that we moved house, and how displeased with me my mother was at the time. But Dave has now turned me on to Brussels sprouts. He cuts them up like little tiny cabbages and cooks them like that, and I can eat them then. It's a texture thing. I like the flavour, but I don't like biting into like a soggy, squishy... Ugh. But cut up like little cabbages, I'll eat them till the cows come home. Right. Back on track. I hope you have the Christmas that you wish for. And if I don't see you, there will be a podcast next week. It probably won't have very much content, but I will see you next Wednesday, and I hope you had a great Christmas. And I'll wish you a Happy New Year when I see you then. Bye everyone. Merry Christmas.